Hello everybody, my name is Leo, and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the MOOER GE 250, that by the way I have reviewed in my channel, and the HEADRUSH GIGBOARD. This video follows the other videos comparisons I did about the GE 250 versus the Ottone Ampero, the GE 250 versus the Line 6 HX Stomp, and the Boss GT 1000 versus the Line 6 Helix LT. If you have already seen these comparison videos, you can jump at the comparison chart at this time here. I hope that this video could be useful for guitarists who maybe want to buy an amp modeling and multi-effects pedalboard in the 450–550 euro or dollars price range and are unsure which one to choose. In fact, in these comparison videos I try to compare units that are in the same price range, and that's why I've chosen these two units, because their price is pretty similar, at least in Europe. Also considering that the HEADRUSH is out since many months, so you can find a cheaper second-hand unit. Let me say that both these pedalboards are good options, but maybe one of them has that extra feature that better suits your needs. And by the way, at the end of this video, as usually, I will also try to give you my opinion about which one I would get if I had to choose. So the arguments we will discuss together are: in the demo song we have already heard the two units in action. Then, with the help of a comparison chart that I've done, we will discuss the technical differences between the two pedalboards in terms, for instance, of in, out, sampling frequency, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, all the technical stuff where maybe there is that extra feature hidden that is indispensable for you. Then we will better listen to the sound differences that you may have already heard in the demo song. You know, it would be impossible to check all the amp models one against the other, so I prefer to choose just some specific options and combinations of amps, cab and effects to verify if there are some specific differences that could address our evaluation. I went for a Fender Deluxe Reverb for the clean sounds and a Marshall JCM 800 for the overdriven ones, using or disabling some effects, but always trying to use the same settings for both the units. I mean, same equalization, same type of cab, etc. Finally, I will give you my 2 cents. So, a lot of interesting stuff that I cannot wait to share with you. Let's start! Check the differences between the two units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and microphones built in, number of banks, patches and presets, number of effects, MIDI possibilities, audio input and outputs, screen size and type, number of foot switches and expression pedal, drum machine and looper capabilities, ADA conversion and USB channels, possibility to use third-party IRs, special features, current power, dimension, weight and price. First of all, we have 70 amps, 32 cabs and 10 mix built in the GE 250, while the Gigboard offers 41 amps and 16 cabs and 10 mix. Therefore, I would give a thumbs up to the GE 250. Furthermore, the GE has 85 banks, each of 3 patches, with a total amount of 255 patches. The Gigboard, on the other hand, has 271 patches. Therefore, I would give a thumbs up to both of them, as the difference is really small. As regards effects, the GE has 180 effects distributed in 11 blocks, while the Gigboard has 48 effects, also in 11 blocks. I would give a thumbs up to GE, as it has few more effects. The GE has a MIDI in or a MIDI out, but not both at the same time, while the Gigboard has a MIDI in port and a MIDI out port. So the Gigboard is better. As regards input and output, the GE 250 has a mono effect loop, a stereo balance and unbalanced output, the aux in and the headphone out. The Gigboard, on the other hand, has the same in and out, but it is missing the unbalanced stereo output, and it has an amp controller output that the GE does not have. In my opinion, the XLR out of the GE is a big plus because it allows us to run longer cables without noise, and in live situation is pretty handy in my opinion, so I would give a thumbs up to the GE 250. The screen of the Gigboard is far superior than the one of the GE. In fact, it is bigger and it is touch sensitive. Actually, this screen is one of the best thing of the Gigboard. The GE has 5 foot switches with a built-in expression pedal, while the Gigboard has 4 foot switches and is lacking the built-in expression pedal. Both have an expression pedal input. Therefore, the GE is better. The GE has a built-in drum machine and a 70 seconds stereo looper, while the Gigboard has a 20-minute looper. So I would say the Gigboard is better, as I prefer a longer looper more than the drum machine. As regards ADA conversion and USB capability, I would say that the HEADRUSH is better, as it offers 24-bit 96 kHz conversion, where the GE has 24-bit at 44.1 kHz. And the HEADRUSH has 4 USB channels, where the GE has only 2 channels. The 4 channels of the HEADRUSH sends 1. The left channel of the master output with all active effects applied, 2. The right channel of the master outputs with all active effects applied, 3. A mono channel of the guitar input with no effect applied, 4 identical to the 3. They both offer the possibility to load third-party IRs, but the HEADRUSH has far more slots to load them and can load better quality IRs at 32-bit and 192 kHz against 24 bits and 44.1 kHz of the G250. So in my opinion, here the HEADRUSH is better. As regards special features, I would mention the tone capture capabilities of the G250 and the possibility to load 2 amps in a signal change and the tone cloud feature of the HEADRUSH, with which you can share patches. So I would say that they are on par. Then we have the power needs, where the GE needs 9V at 1000 mA, while the HEADRUSH needs 3240 mA at 9V. So I would give a thumbs down to both of them, as it is difficult to use our normal power adapter. As regards the weight and dimension, the GE is smaller and lighter, and finally the price is lower for the GE250. So finally, let's count the green and red thumbs. We have 8 green thumbs with 6 reds for the G250 and 7 green and 7 reds for the HEADRUSH. So I would say that the G250 is a tiny bit better. Obviously, this is just a technical comparison without considering that each feature could have a different importance for you, and so for instance you can consider the HEADRUSH better just because it can handle longer loops. But if you just algebraically sum the features, according to my comparison chart, the GE is better. Now, final considerations here. Let me say that this is gonna be my personal opinion for my specific use cases, and of course you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Well, for sure the Gigboard has a beautiful touchscreen, and it is very easy to use. Nevertheless, even the MOOER is pretty easy thanks to that row of buttons below the screen that provides easy access to the most useful functions I typically need, and is pretty intuitive. Maybe it does not give you all the options of the Gigboard interface, but the 99% of the things I need are at my disposal pretty easily also with the GE250. For live use, in my opinion, the GE is better. It's smaller, lighter and easier to carry around. It offers XLR stereo outputs that allows me to run longer cable on stage without losing sound quality. And it has one more foot switch and expression pedal built in. So, if I had to choose one of these units for live use, I would go with the GE250. Actually, this is also the first comparison between this type of pedal boards where the sound differences between the two units is actually a key deciding factor for me. This is totally subjective, but I found the sounds of the GE better for my taste and a better starting point to obtain the sound I need. With the Gigboard, I found myself tweaking and tweaking to find the sound I like. So, finally, overall, I would lean towards the GE250. Don't get me wrong, the Gigboard is a pretty solid option, but the GE250 just better suits my need and my taste. This is obviously totally subjective and I would like to know your opinions and which one of these two units you would choose in your use case, and also if the sound differences that you can check out in the demo song or in the more sound section of this video are a key deciding factor for you. So let me know in the comment below. These were my final 2 cents. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. If you are interested in my music, you can check out a playlist of songs of mine in the description below. And in the description below, there is also a link to the streaming services distributor that I use, that is DistroKid. If you use that link, you will have a discount and I will earn some money, so you are gonna actually help the channel. So, this is the end. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.